Hi, I'm Kimberly Vorse and I teach at K-1 at Sherwood.
And I'm Tamra McHaffie and I teach kindergarten at Sherwood.
And we're going to talk to you about how we manage and organize our Writers' Workshop. So we've split our classroom into two separate groups. We have a group that's working on labeling and picture detail, and we have a group that's working on stretching words and writing simple sentences. And we split our groups at the beginning of the year by using our writing prompt and our beginning of the year testing.
Right, we look at letter recognition and letter sounds as well to split those. And during the process, once we come to the carpet, we teach a mini lesson based upon the skill the students are needing at that time.
And so we have our group split, so we meet at the same time every day, but I'm teaching one group and she's teaching the other. We meet on our carpet area. We do our mini lesson. We have a marker bucket down here where the kids grab a marker bucket and take it back to their seats. And then we have flexible seating in our classroom. So the way we organize our Writers' Workshop folders is we have them in tubs with animal labels. And the students have picked which animal is their animal, and they put their Writers' Workshop in their animal tub. So as we call the animals, they can go and grab their folder, take it back to their seat with their marker bucket, and start working. Inside their folder is an ABC chart, and they have blank paper that they can use to write. We write until the timer goes off. And as they're writing, we're pulling up small groups or conferences. When the timer goes off, we tell them, even if you're not finished, it's not a big deal. You can put your paper back in your folder because they're going to get their folder out tomorrow, and they can either continue working on the story they're working on, or they can choose to start writing a new story.
Tools that they have access to in their folder. Each child has an alphabet chart that they can look at and help them if they're stretching out words and are struggling with finding the beginning sound. They can use this alphabet chart. And every student has this in their folder. Our students who are ready for writing sight words and blends, we've created this chart. It's a list of approximately 50 sight words. They're in alphabetical order. And they really need to have some knowledge of sight words in order for this to be successful, because they're really going to have to know the beginning letter of that word. So once they start learning their sight words, we hold them accountable in their writing. So this is just a good tool that they can look off of to help them make sure that they're getting those sight words correct. And then on the back side, there's a blend chart, and we've reviewed it with them for the most part, but if they need additional help, they can come up and check with the teacher, or during our writing conferences, they can come up and we can use this and assist them in being more successful.
So because we have flexible seating in our classroom, students get to pick their seat every morning, and every morning it's a different seat, of course. So we've come up with this idea to have these tubs that have animal labels. So each child at the beginning of the year chose what their favorite animal was, and that's the tub that they keep their Writers' Workshop folder in. So when we dismiss from our mini lesson, students grab one bucket of markers for their table, and then we usually call them by animal. So I would say, cats, go get your folders, and they'll come to the cat tub, grab their folders, have a seat, and they get started writing. At the end of Writers' Workshop, when the timer goes off, we have the students put all their things, all the lids back on the markers in the tubs, their papers in their folders, and then we tell them to return their folder back to their animal tub, so it'll be ready for them tomorrow.
So after our mini lesson, we dismiss the kids to their tables and they're writing independently. And during that time, I'm calling kids up for individual conferencing. I usually call up about 3 or 4 at a time. And while they're working, I'm conferencing with another child. And this is just the notebook that I use to document and see visually where your children are and how much they've progressed. It starts with scribbling, pictures, random letters, labeling beginning and ending sounds, writing words, writing sentences, and then writing stories, which would be multiple sentences. So there's also a place for teacher notes, and this is where I document what the child has written, because at the end of the week or every other week we send home their packet, so it's no longer in their folder, and this is good documentation to look back again and see how they've progressed. This child wrote, "I like my cat," and so she's writing sentences. Everything isn't conventional yet, but she's getting really close to being able to write those conventional words. And then I always write the date and what the kiddo wrote and what skill we specifically worked on. During the week, we pull up the kiddos at least twice a week and conference with them.
So at the end of Writer's Workshop, we give the students a chance to share their work, and it's one of their favorite times. We have a schedule where we have about 5 kids share a day. They get to bring anything from their folder that they want to share with their friends, which is another reason to keep their work in a folder, because sometimes they're very anxious about sharing something. I'll say, remember, it's not your share day. When it's your share day, you can pull that out of your folder. So they select their work that they want to share with the students. They bring it to the carpet. They get to sit in the teacher's chair, and they get to read us their writing and explain their picture to us. And then we have maybe 3 students raise their hand, and we call on maybe 3 students who can notice something special about that child's work. And when students do a great job and it's something spectacular, we hang it on our front door so that people in the hallway can see, and we make a big deal about hanging up their great work. So students are working hard, whether it's their day or to share or not, because they know eventually it's going to be their day to share and they're going to get to pull something out of their folder. And they're also working every day to get their great work up on our door, which we change out weekly. And that's our Writer's Workshop.